the oppressor. That's all. That's what my music's about. The oppressed rising up against the oppressor. So if only people that's scared are the oppressors. The only people who could have any harm coming to them are those who oppress. Simple as that.
3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. It's time for a change, gotta bounce up. The oppressor's about to get tossed up. I'ma lay him out, execution style's too late. An apologetic claim. You wrapped in a cloak of flame, by God, it's over. Doing your time is to the end. Locked out silent without sin. He put me on the planet for justice to win. The oppressor's about to get rolled down. With suppressors attached in a war zone. Revolution can start in the Arizona. I'm a messenger prophet like Farrakhan. Backed by the honorable, who sits at the pinnacle. Who judges the hypocritical, cynical, and the plentiful sinful. My thinking is critical. I'm just ventilating of the actions of the protective service. Quick to pull the Glock, blast and kill. This don't take any kind of skill. I'm ill of all citizens who haven't took a stand. O'Neill's too late when the caps get bills. Don't believe it till you see type. Born hits close to home. You gotta act the bone, but it got the dome when it's on the zone. All red in my vision through sight. It's killer be killed whenever I fight. From above I've been given the right. So you better be ready to ride tonight. On the way to the dawn daylight. We gon' rid them off, so gon' pass the kite. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender. 3-pound pressure, no weight lesser. Drop the oppressor, meet no surrender.
This world is such a, and when I say this world, I mean it. I don't mean in the ideal sense. I mean in the, every day, every little thing you do. It's such a, gimme, gimme, gimme. Everybody back off. You know, everybody's like, if you taught that from school, everywhere, big business, you want to be successful, you want to be like Trump, gimme, 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 push, 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 step, 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 crush, crush, crush. That's how it all is, and it's like, nobody ever stopped.
Turn that light off again.
Now watch time and space rock the great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark, ways the heart as I sun ray my art her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes, marks once we make knowledge one is when the run and bass drop. I rose up, took a shower, purified my arc field, took copper for a walk to ensure my chlorophyll is pumping. Done some pros for sure, I've more to build. Solid foundation, my crown chakra core and hill. Pound the pavement, sacred ground, freedom I stand for. Free all political prisoners of war, man or woman and child. Rid the land of all foreign and alien entities. I decree this morning, send them back to whence they came. It's
the peace laugh or war cry, whatever the relevant name of each path. Simple, highest form, spiritualities, how you teach math. A humble beast is still a beast. Now feel the beast wrath, rain fire on them, and the internet forms, sigils, emojis, and the avatars that wore them. Destroy this de facto government and its quarrels. Establish Big Ma house so she may restore him. A great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when rhyme and bass drop. The next host, note to self, quit playing, hit the gas. This shaft is called my turn, take the risk and spaz. Most of them got vaccinated with chips in their ass, plus rappers sacrificing each other for grits of their cash. Sad shit, watch videos without the subliminals. Predictive programming weirdo, sprung menstrual shows. The land's contaminated, fruits and vegetables, like minerals, the water and skies I fry. Nuclear chemicals, technology got me here in front of my desktop, perusing these beasts and whatnot for my best option, contemplating which bar will next spot to unlock the minds that are stuck within a Xbox. Off the chart, I continue to climb, watching the rest flop like carp fishing, 100% fresh shark water. I'm on the front line, X-Martial spot. I shine because of her, for she's the best part. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when time and space rock. The great matriarch, whether it's day or dark, creates the spark. Ways the heart as I sun ray my art, her make the patriarch. Most social media saviors are fakes. Marks once we make knowledge born is when the rhyme and bass drops.
Good boy. Good boy. Okay. I'm just throwing the ball.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch. Honor and respect to our ancestors. Jah, you've always had a father. Off of your flow, with your fire starter, to the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. Latif, I'm still teaching you like he got yang. My healing reaching you despite me locked and chained. Black you speaking true, you ignite lots of pain. I feel the releasing of lightning and drops of rain from the sound cloud. You shine like me, the crown sprout. But unlike me, son, you haven't turned down loud. A smoke screen which surrounds you, shrouds your style. My shout allow your genius to astound the crowd. You my beloved, you scintillate profusely. You my beloved, you resent fate foolishly. You my beloved, do ventilate truthfully. You my beloved son, and who I'm well pleased. Okay, showing your vision is resplendent, my descendant when filming your intuition extends. The lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class get your inner magic. Dramatic action mixed with vivid aspects mastered surpasses the average glass, stretches the facet through the scope of life's Kodak UC classic. The question you have is mathematics, please ask it. Son, Earth's a classroom, so put your hand up. At last, boom, you already knew the answer. I pray to God to give me another chance for the love of my life, my wife, just to romance her. In the misconception, no time for second guessing. It's destined, you knew who was who through a reflection that she showed you of me many years ago. Special features presentation appears to show you my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved. Do ventilate truthfully, you my beloved. son in whom I'm well pleased. Now Samuel, I am here. Can for sure that the signal is a scramble or deprogrammable. From a little cub to a lion, not of my bloodline. Don't give a damn, don't love you as if you was mine. I'll be the first. Forgive me for my absence. The Most High sat me down to learn patience through abstinence. Amongst other lessons, perfect my craft and talents. Balance of our legacy in the Black Hawks talents. Face adversity, overcome all challenges. Generational wealth for the next generation to us. Can't make the same mistakes of past tense instead. Let's create an after we've cried relapses type of atmosphere. Redirected fire, recalibrate the energy to propel us higher. As sovereign, opulent, autocratus, Nijis. I look at all three of my sons. On God, I see you, my beloved. You scintillate profusely, you my beloved. You resent fate foolishly, you my beloved.
Let me get something with some feel to it, some funk to it. Come on. I think I like that. Can we get some heavy drums in there? More like a collective Caribbean.
Oh, what's going on, Mark? What's going on, beloved? Okay. We're gonna read, but I'm gonna wait till a few people come in. All right.
I like them imports, never push the Cadillac. And what you figure, Mr. Man, while you're kicking back with sick plans to get you stacked, making chickens fat. You know you into that, chilling with your timber cat, intoxicated to the point past simple.
I'm not big at smiling people. I'm really not. Just when I see people I don't know, but I've known, I'll smile. It's a bit of a taking acting classes. Oh, I won't. Because when I see them smile, usually I smile, just to be smiling. Most of them, I look like this when I smile. Seriously. It's gonna be a minute, yo.
Yeah. We need some 3 parts on this, man.
It's pretty nice out there right now.
Come on, line up. Yo. We need y'all 3-part harmony.
It's gonna start cooling off here in about an hour or two.
Work it out.
About 5 or something, it's gonna start cooling off. Somewhere, everything is supposed to rain again.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it, proud of the man that gave the world and lose the soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it, proud of the man that gave the world and lose the soul? Into the room, you feel a certain doom. You might lose your hearing from the sonic boom. Out of your mouth is a sword and I'm taking you out. You try to stop me and I'm faking you out. Man, I wish
That's what we're looking at right now.
To build this work, collaborate on synthesis. And I hope you remember this. Keep your enemy near you. Far away, keep those that are dear to you. I hate beer, but I used to drink the brew. Heavily until the little habit turned deadly. I used to have a bud every day and all week. Intoxicated to the point where I couldn't hardly speak.
Keep the dates, you know what I mean?
Let the past be dead and keep a level head and don't be misled. Remember most of what I said. I'm hot like the times in the rock, but you gotta stop from working on your song. By the end of the night, I'll take this music is. What is it, private the man that gave the world and lose the soul? Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is. What is it, private the man that gave the world and lose the soul? Mike's handed, I'm speaking candid. Understand this is the way that the masses demanded. I have wisdom, but God planned it. General.
Al, get this thing flying. What is it?
Some beaches make you wonder where the sand went.
I'll get this thing, man. You chase him. I think I brought it in. I don't want to kill it, but he's talking about me like that.
If you could get the concept, there'd be many that stand whenever I rip. There's devastation whenever I spit. I spit flows that hit like mouth on tits.
Right there on the check. Go over there and get it, man.
Understand that felonies, gunfights and drugs.
Al, stop being lit. Go over there and kill that thing.
Or
whatever it is you do with it.
There's no need to spaz, you know.
They don't come over here with me, man. Go over there.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is.
I think I got it. Oh, now you want to run over there because you saw me swing the pillow. Man, you was born.
Hope you can see by the end of the night how deep this music is.
I like angels. The angels language, devil's language.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the great matriarch.
Excuse me, my hair is crazy right now, y'all. So, no, I mean it's crazy, like crazy.
Push your fire starter, the cause of your glow. But the trail I've blazed, I pray you turn from it. The hell I've raised, I pray you don't burn from it. The work I put in, I pray that you earn from it. The mistakes I've made, I pray that you learn from it. You my splitting image, little darker, little taller. I'm a shot caller, though you just a little baller. But Chief, I'm still teaching you like he got yang. My he reaching you just like me, lock and chain. Black you speaking true, you ignite lots of pain. I feel the releasing of lightning and drops of rain from the sound cloud. You shine like me, your crown sprout. But unlike me,
Scott, what's going on? What's happening? Anybody else out shop, you know, shout you out, bro. Anybody come in that's new? I meant to say that before, subscribe to them. I don't know, I think a pod, I should be able to do it on live here. But if they come in, subscribe to the channel. You know, just, you know, regardless, if you want to hit notifications, at least subscribe. If they don't have no content, if they start, you know.
Resplendent my descending when filming your intuition extends. The lenses felt when your cinematographic flashes of your scripted class get your inner magic.
You know what's funny? You see all these people talking now about this and that. Let me, excuse me. I can't put that in the screen. Talking about this and that. I'm gonna clear it because I gotta clean it. And the worst part about it is the ones that's doing it are the very ones like who are supporting that individual P, you know what I'm saying? JB, the P of their, you know what I mean? And nobody ever paid attention that, I mean, people vote like the Obamacare, remember? Worst thing ever. Everybody got Obamacare, it went up like twofold. You know, breaking families, without people really researching it because a person talks a certain way. The only one that ever did something since Kennedy was Trump. I was going over all the information on my laptop right here, right? I was going over all the things he did. How could you vote for this thing based on Hollywood, the music industry, and all those, and you see who they are now, right? And vote for something that destroys the country. Now, if you hate the country because you black and you come from slaves, and you ain't get reparations, use a fool. Everybody's speaking on how none of these platforms were never supposed to be weaponized. But we already know that there's certain entities within every organization that are criminal. They're not supposed to be there. But who brought them in? Well, you got two trannies in the military. Not to say anything against the ABCD people. All right? But think about it. Now you got all these people getting on the bandwagon. I'm watching one of these videos at these pubs, and they all black and white together. For those of you who still believe you're a crayon color. I'm not going to hammer on y'all. Y'all already hammering on yourself. But, and they're dancing and laying pipes of, you know, alcohol together. You can't make this stuff up, man. I don't have nothing negative to say. I mean, y'all doing all your work on your own, man. I mean, seriously. Why would anybody want to say something negative? Excuse me, guys. Why would anybody want to say something negative about people who are more confused than anybody? I ain't got nothing bad to say about none of y'all. Nothing. This fall, it came apart because it's pretty. It's got a lot of carbon buildup, guys, and I gotta clean it up later on. So I just wanted to see how much it was. I'm not handling in front of it or nothing, showing or nothing. Okay. Oh yeah, that's bad. You know what? I can still put another thou. I can put another thou through, man. I can put about another. This is like a. Put a couple more thou. Oh, we're gonna keep running this. Oh, this is burning up. Oh no. We're gonna keep running this. I can't show it on here, you know that. Oh, this is beautiful. It's not bad at all, actually. It's got some build up. But this is built different. This is built way different. So I think it's one of the best ones they ever put together. I'm gonna get another one. Carry on both hips. This thing is magnificent. Let's take a real good look. Wow. Anyway, we're gonna get a read on. I just want to let a few more people come in, if that's all right with y'all. I appreciate that. Into mudras, anonymous, the assignment I expose you. Buddha set fire to your chapters, verses, ayats, and surahs. When it's all over, I'ma give a big hoorah. Nah, I mean amen, cause that's who I is. Sooner or later, you'll realize that I'm is. The time is now. The word of this. They just all, ooh, ha, 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 ha. Vision board is what my timeline is. The world governments are guilty. The crime is, well, y'all got the list. I ain't got. I hope they come together actually, and come together in the right way. You know. Speech on it. Distance is an illusion, so I got my reach on it. The world is nothing but a stage of deceivers, reptilian shapeshifters, an array of creatures. Hey Charles, what's going on? Marcus, Neil, what's up, love? Jamil, we're gonna get it in here. I just wanted to broach upon that. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't pay attention to those little things, you know what I'm saying? I gotta play this one right here though, y'all. Y'all know I gotta rock this one right here. Market and promotion, right? 3 pounds of pressure, we end with that. We started with it, we end with that. I'm probably not gonna get no marketing or promotion for this one. I ain't sure though. I can't swallow this stuff, y'all. Most of these rappers are buying strange to be heard and seen. In a computer program reality, I'm here to John Connor these machines. You did? Yeah. It's your fact I'm not speaking on traffic for bags and cage. Tweaking on subtracting order to make her ass shake. Tom Brady's passing average to LeBron's fast break. NBA young boys beef with Dirkle if they smash Drake. Topic which keeps us hostages of the magistrate as they catch tax race out cash they in the cash race. A drag race, although they want me in last place I pass straight. I'm King Cobra, they just scratch snakes. In contrast to a fast rate in town, one comes from Spanish grace. Weight of the world on my shoulders, stacked on back each. Add on fat, place your system, tried to castrate. But when I died in prison, but I was driven like a fast rate. Welcome my show's health, I am mass great. Sagacious as a fast late, dangerous as the bad. Cliffhanger. Cliffhanger. Yo, what's going on, guys? Let's go ahead and get to this. We're gonna read. Oh, I'm gonna talk with Baby Girl Slaughter so we can, because you know I done read Jamil's. Oh my God, I'm gonna do a breakdown. So I'm gonna talk with her so we can do a format of how Timoni's Hind is. He just sent me a message. Anyway, so we can do a live and we can extrapolate on these two magnificent books. Again, if you haven't purchased it. I know some of you ain't gonna purchase it. Y'all don't even give me $1, so I don't expect y'all to get it. But I would suggest if you want your nieces and nephews and them to know something. I know some of you are pretty lazy. That's a gut punch. Get this book, and I don't wore this book out. I know most of it in there, but it's a lot of it. There's some that is well put together I never came across. And his, as far as the dynamics of knowing true history and his family and everything like that. See, this is when you get the gift that keeps on giving. This one right here. It's simple, real to the point. Okay, so I'm gonna talk with Baby Go Slaughter so that we can have a podcast that goes on for however long. I never want somebody to go over no 2, 3, 4 hours and all that nonsense, but I don't care if it goes 7, 8. We could probably talk on this for a long, long time. Okay, and if you haven't picked it up, it's in the bio. It's in the description. That way you can go right to it on Amazon. Read it and give a review. You know what I'm saying? And it's well worth it. I'm not a person to give anybody no ego, like that, but it should be up there. So I know one thing I know about a lot of Negroes, and I'm saying it to be slight, you don't read. Worst thing you can do is not read. Okay? So don't call my dummy no dummy, all right? And remember, all right, I told you don't call my dummy no dummy. Get him. But Jamil A. Shamsheed. Shamsheed, you know what I'm saying? Sam Seed. Y'all know where that comes from. It's getting to Exposing the Expositions by 1851 to 1915 by Holly Mikowski. This is the revised 2021 edition from his 2019. I'm not trying to make the man lose no money. I know he's gaining on this. I wouldn't get to 2019. I have it, but if you're going for collection, it's not like it's too bad. It's not as bad. It's just not as informative, okay? So it's his first run, I believe. So check it out. They're killing the weeds. That means they should be taking on things and running around the stores and knocking all the food off the shelves. Okay. I got my highlighters because I had to change them out. So we're at Omaha. Remember, 1898. Now I showed you the Grand Court of Omaha Exposition. This is the Grand Court of Omaha. Now you saw Shalagwa, the Court of Honors, right? Right? And in England, everywhere they had this water stuff set up like this. And these people didn't build this, all right? So this is the Grand Court of Omaha Exposition, 1898. I want you to take a good look at that. These fools didn't know how to build none of that. Now, what I want you to know is these buildings were in Cuba, Andros Islands, Haiti, Jamaica, Australia, Hawaii, Fiji Islands. Yes, these buildings were all over, y'all. Okay? You know, the big dome. Okay? So let's get into it. The Trans-Mississippi Exposition was in Omaha's Kuntz Park in 1898 on the 180-acre, which would be 898, 8th century, on the 180-acre site, again with lagoons, gondolas, and 21 massive buildings for a place that also called itself a white city. Isn't that funny? I just call them because they want to push this, you know what I mean? Over 2.6 million people attended. The first question is, where did all the visitors come from? Omaha was a very small city in 1898, and the American West had just been opened up. That is a lot of people at the time. So you see those grand cities in San Fran and everything like that? LA, where the brother went back to and named it after himself, to which I told y'all, the West Coast is the East Coast, and the East Coast is the West Coast. And that's actually Carolina. Look at the maps. Why do we say North and South Kakalaki? Kakalaki ain't got nothing to do with Carolina. Anyway, let's go on. Excuse me. So anyway, and the American West had just opened up, and that is a lot of people at the time. Now, the origin story of this fair claims that in 1895, Omaha banker Gordon Waddles wanted to have a world fair in Omaha. And William Jennings Bryan, we heard that name before, was a key factor in getting the fair in Omaha. He, of course, was the one who later was the main attorney on the side of, listen to this, on the side of Bible in the Scopes Monkey Trail in 1926. Let me read that again for some of you to pull it up and probably share it on here. All right. Snoo, Lloyd, if you're in here, Bible, in quotations, in the Scopes Monkey Trail in 1926. It apparently took 2 years just to locate a site, which meant they had but 1 year to build the entire fair. Its purpose was to show off the development of the American West, and though not specifically stated, to show the inferiority of the native Indian and their primitive way of life. The native Indian villages were called a living display by the expo organizers. Those were the living zoos. Remember I told you, who did Wild Bill, who did he have in the, and y'all need to look this up, in the Wild West Zoo? Arabs and who? Ket people. They're using them, and they were all boy lovers, homos. Okay, I'm not saying that as slides. Get the books and read, Google it, because they were molesting all the boys. Okay, drinking and molesting all the boys, sex, all that. Yes, a modern documentary on the fair claimed it was to showcase that the United States could take the lead in civilizing the world, but they didn't build the White House, the Franklin House, or the land, all that around there. One Omaha construction photo can be found here. And you can go to https:// trans Mississippi, you got to do the UNL education, the same thing I expressed before. Okay. And there's other sites that have the same information in it. There are photographs of the construction of the fair buildings. Many are similar to the photos suggested above. What does look like the creation of a temporary structure being put up of wood interior, but there are many others which depict the usual complete lower building with the only building taking place on the top, adding or remodeling a dome or tower. It is hard to tell what may have been temporary or original. That may be the point with all of these fairs. You might have had 4 or 5 originals, and by the time you throw up 50 other temporary buildings alongside them, that all get painted with the same overlay, which was white. It would be almost impossible to tell one from the other. The funny thing is, some of the buildings that stood, when the white paint washed off, because it washed off pretty quick, and you can see that in the picture, in the buildings, and it talked about it, you would see that there was age, moss, peat, stuff like that, that pushed hundreds of years. That's why it's good. It's good to be informed and to do the research. All right. So, and they were, another book I have upstairs, they were talking about some of these places because of the mudslides and buildings knocked together and leaned over, and there was some fighting that you don't hear about. Okay. So some of that stuff was reshaped, changed a little bit. Okay. Now, the main area was called the Grand Court, surrounded by magnificent Greco-Roman buildings with towers, domes, and columns, again showcased with the whitewash painting. Yet this expo is remembered mostly for its Indian Congress, which ran from August 4th to October 31st, beyond just having a zoo to display natives. Here, the fair organizers originally wanted to have the largest gathering of Indian tribes since the whites first arrived. The idea was that the 500 members of 35 different tribes, including the Apache Chief Geronimo, who was being held prisoner at Fort Sill, would have open lectures and discussion that could be attended. This was to present the daily life beliefs and history of as many tribes as possible, with the key element being the native view of being connected with nature. This was without question one of the most progressive ideas that any of the fairs came up with, to present the actual teachings of the native people. Yet in his ignorance, he wasn't going to research the native peoples, because you got to remember Howdy Mikowski. He's pretty ignorant as to who the original people may be. All right, it's not knocking the readings, because this is about the fair. So you need to remember that, okay? We have plenty of books that allude to what the human zoo was about. Congress gave over $100,000 to have the Congress. Listen to this. Congress gave over 100,000 to have the Congress. And yes, managed by ethologist James Mooney. Thousands of portraits of the natives were taken, with many of the most famous coming from here. However, when you look at the original collection, most native portraits were two views, one face on, the other side profile, thus look like modern mugshots, and can be seen in the link in the footnotes. Well, it's the footnotes down there. Just go to the link that I gave you, and you just got to make sure you put on behind it. It's going to be as far as the Hotmail, as far as, you know, when you're doing your, what's called, as far as the EDU photographs view, / you know what I'm talking about, okay? Anyway, however, once the exposition began, it was clear to the organizers that the white fairgoers, and see, he's using white, fairgoers were not interested in hearing what the Indians might have to say, because they knew they weren't. They knew exactly who they were. They didn't care, and instead just wanted to see dances, games, and ceremonials to see how well they were taught. Soon, promoters were influenced, because you got to remember, 1890 something. Yeah, the boarding schools and the first Indian training schools were established when? When were they established, people? So you have the first arrival besides foreigners brought here on boats who spoke the languages 55 miles away from Alaska. You had the Indian training schools that would later become boarding school. Indian training schools became boarding schools later. Set up by the Vatican and the fake crown. As most of you know, the so-called Revolutionary War really did never happen that way. That was a war that repairing that we were still fighting. Okay? Yeah, that's it. James Mooney. But the schools were set up early on, around like 1850 something and stuff like that. So you have 20 to 30-year-old children who are now big grown folk. You know what I mean? Anyway, thousands of portraits of the natives were taken, with many of the most famous coming from here. However, when you look at the original collection, again, most native portraits were two views. One face on the other side as far as a profile, to which they look like modern mugshots, because they were establishing a new people. However, once the exposition began, it was clear to the organizers that the white fairgoers were not interested in hearing what the Indians might have to say, because they knew who they were. Soon, promoters were influenced by the, the Improved Order of Red Men, a white fraternal organization, who called to have, listen to this, soon promoters were influenced by the Improved Order of Red Men, the Improved Order of Red Men, in parentheses, a white fraternal organization. Because you got to remember, there was no pale skins, not like that here, not like them, who called to have the Congress stop completely and instead show off battles between whites and Indians, where the whites would always win. It underscored the message that the natives were a race on their way to extinction and thus needed to submit to white rule. A 5,000-seat grandstand was soon erected to have these fake battles. The other main activity demanded were reenactments of the ghost dance, which caused many concerns in the government, given that the U.S. Army had just murdered hundreds of ghost dancers in 1890 at Wounded Knee. Thus, the idea of an actual Congress where various Indians shared their views was long forgotten, and instead this fair started what became the standard Western movie theme of the 1950s. They didn't know nothing about the ghost dance, and Indians and their connection with nature was quickly seen as something not to focus on, because they didn't have this connection. They weren't the indigenous autochthons of this land. They didn't know ghost dance. They didn't know corn stomp. All that stuff will later come up because our people were still practicing those things. Hot water cornbread, hoe cakes, which later became some morbid form of fried bread. It's sad when people don't know true history and then they want to disconnect because they can't accept the reality of the truth of their existence. One U.S. senator claimed that the fair miraculous is the growth of the Mississippi region. It will support a population of 25 million without taxing its resources to oblivion. Science will discover new applications for overcoming the obstacles of nature, and the inventions of Edison will replenish, and they weren't his inventions, replenish the treasuries of the world with the gold of its mountain ranges, and the discoveries of Tesla may convert the wasted winds and rivers into applied energy not suited, that will carry on all operations of industry. That's terraforming for those who aren't aware by now. Okay? Without the intervention of human labor. Same story they say yesteryear, they say today. Yes, the wind and rivers are nothing but waste in all nature but an obstacle. This is how people thought then. And sadly, many still think now. As this book is presenting, there was a time that no one thought like this. And people may have, in fact, lived in great harmony with the earth. And yes, we did. Whole lot of tea in there, ain't it? And I said when I read this part, I was going to do that. I felt that might be important. You know what I mean? There we go. Thank you. See, I know you still right. I meant to come on a little earlier and read the Negro Project and William Cooper. We'll do it first thing in the morning. I won't chop everybody up about a bunch of nonsense. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the Heaven Bearers, the Great Reset of 1834, and the Mud Flood by Janine Helen. And y'all say, why don't you read this first? This is a story. This is like a lullaby. Give you something to sleep on. The other one is to express something, whether it's between 1851 and 1915, which is where the commonality of affairs, okay? Even though they happened long before that. Remember, not too long before that, we were supposed to be fighting in some fictional name thing called Civil War, which wasn't civil, and the war was against our people on this land. That's why they were able to do that. They won't tell you the truth. They'll lie. Now, just because Putin opened up the vault of true history of icons, the Vatican's done it, slipped up every once in a while and showed you. Now people are starting to realize, holy smack. So the blacks, which is disrespectful, condescending, who are not from Africa, are to be worshipped. Nigga, please. That's never who he was. That's something else going on. They're telling the story. It's another lie. But the truth of origin, I already said there's enough history books going around showing you that when the Turks got there, the first people they came upon was this land called Georgia. And they said they look like Egyptians because the people that went there to conquer the land were ignorant. Just like when they came here and it says we remind them of the Ethiopians. Come on now. Y'all better get it together, man. Snap up out of it. You know what I mean? Anyway, here goes the book, Heaven Bearers. We're in the scrap zone now. You know, I'm going to show Janine Helen, South Africa. Okay. And if you look at the picture and look up where she's staying at and why she took the picture the way she did, you might see something else. So for all those South Africa think that they didn't have cities and stuff like that, haven't the greatest of wars been over there? Stop being foolish. Excuse me. She scans the canopy for Emil and Amelia, but they are not there. There's a loud thump next to her suddenly, and it is them. Remember they took off to fly up the sea to go look for somebody? They have grown again and are now teenagers. She would guess they are 13 years old from 7. They stand next to her proudly, and she can see why. They have brought the tree of life with them, and she is safe. Bonnie is relieved. They desperately need her to help them convince Mother Nature of the Heaven Bearers' true intentions. You see what they did, right? Who they brought back? The tree of life, right? Mother Nature has to be convinced. The tree of life wouldn't exist if it wasn't for Mother, right? Anyway, Heaven Bearers' true intentions, right? So Malcolm would need your help, she tells him, and Emil and Amelia acknowledge her with a simple nod, and off they go again. The tree of life follows their lead and walks towards the settlement and through the flaming dome of fire to guard it from the inside. Two more shadows land and become real-life creatures, and all three come charging at her and Cassiel at once. Bonnie clutches the metal staff in her hand as hard as she can, and a bright blue flame emerges from it. Her body lifts from the ground, and she circles around them at the speed of sound and cuts a circle into the ground that turns blue, and a dome completely surrounds them. She swoops back towards Cassiel, and another dome forms over him as she lands next to him and gets back into her fighting position. The first creature that landed charges at them and bounces off of the dome that she created and starts to dig with his sharp, stubby claws to get underneath it. Cassiel, take this, she hands him the staff. Focus on holding the dome in place and extend it down as far as you can. Let them dig. She is calm and collected, and her eyes are looking for something. Meanwhile, Malcolm has reached the canopy and is waiting for Azrael to come out of hiding and face him like a man, which we know he isn't. The atmosphere up there is calm, yet there is sorrow and unkindness lurking in the air, and it is hot, very hot. Sweat forms on Malcolm's brow, and he wipes it off with the back of his hand. I can smell you, Father. Let us not play games today. He is sarcastic and angry. Azrael is the master of deception, trickster, surprise, and his nickname, as it is, goes the angel of death. Every soul he takes results in him getting stronger, more evil, and craving more power. Wouldn't that sound like babies? The purer, the more strength. His goal is to create a new race of slaves, the humans, so that he can amass wealth and control. Once he has achieved a certain level of this, he will kill off the other heaven bearers. He can't have them challenging him, and he is not willing to share. They serve a purpose for now, just like everything and everyone else. Azrael is different to the other heaven bearers. He was the firstborn of once great lineage of being called the Heaveners. They were a simple people that lived in the clouds. They had no real purpose. They were created to be a lazy race, and they spent most of their days hovering above the canopy of the different trees of life. They would watch the different races down below thrive and live their lives, and their only goal was to maintain the clouds and regulate the rays and heat from the sun. Nothing about rain or snow. If there weren't enough clouds, or the wrong ones, the sun's rays would be too intense and could boil and destroy a planet. Azrael found this job menial and boring. He sat and watched from above, green with envy at the different races and what they had. He saw their tribes, their precious stones and metals, and he decided he wanted it all for himself. He befriended a wanderer named Azul, and together they plotted a way for them to gain control of the galaxy. Their plan was simple. They would start by inhabiting one tree of life at a time. They started with Mirth, but the Mirtheners fought back and killed Azul, and Azrael fled for his life. He knew he needed to find another way, a simpler way. He made a pact with the goddess of the underneath named Zahra, and she promised him power and his heart's every desire. She was a serpent-like creature with 6 legs and no eyes. She could not witness true beauty, but she wanted it. And in exchange, Azrael promised her copious amounts of it. He wanted power by whatever means necessary and to learn the art of deception. He was willing to do whatever it took to achieve this. Azrael, it is simple. All you need to do is sacrifice every single one of the Heaveners, the young and the old, to me, and send them to the underneath. If you do this, I promise you can have all that you have ever dreamed of. She and sniffs his face. Azrael didn't ask a single question and immediately began devising a plan on how to murder all of his own people. It needed to be quick and easy, he told himself. He changed the position of the clouds and let the rays from the sun slowly heat up the top of the canopy of the different trees of life, knowing full well that they will fight back to try and protect their roots. The leaves gave off an oily liquid that would reflect the sun's rays away from them as a defense. Ordinarily, the extra heat would merely evaporate and dissipate into the galaxy. Except this time, Azrael lined the clouds up in such a way that they blocked this heat from escaping into the galaxy, and it cooked the heaveners alive. It melted their skin right off of their bones, and they became a thick sludge that cooked away until there was nothing left of any of them. After Azrael had killed them all, he returned to see Zara and accepted his powers that she promised him. Silly boy. I have no powers to give you, she proceeds to laugh and then hisses at him. I want beauty. I want to be beautiful, but you can't give me that. You never could, so I made you ugly like me. We're going to hold off on that. Oh, yeah, I had to tell you the story how Azrael became Azrael, right? We'll get into the schooly scrap, the fighting, because it's got a lot of it, y'all. There is another book coming out of this, you know. I think it is out. I just haven't ordered it. I know y'all. I heard see how everybody. I know y'all hate me with these cliffhangers, but you're gonna get them from me. You're gonna get cliffhangers from this kid, especially when it's good reading, real good reading. You know what I'm saying? He was a sellout naga. Oh, you got a photo of him? Girl, let me pull that up. No, don't go nowhere. Hold on now. I ain't in no rush to go nowhere right now. We'll come back to you in a minute. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see what you put up there, baby girl. We turn it down. The moment I hit on it, excuse me. The moment I hit on it, it'll no, I'm not screening it to the TV. Why would I do that? Okay. Let me pull it up, boo. Yeah. Ooh, child. I made it kind of big, didn't it? All right. A photo of him. Let me see what the photo is you pull up. Oh, that ain't no Heaven Bearer, no Azrael. I thought you were about Azrael. That's a picture of. That's the real Geronimo. Well, yeah, he wasn't a sellout, baby. He was. Look, Mooney began work on the Smithsonian Institute Bureau of American BA under John Wesley Powell. There he carried out ethnographic research for more than 30 years. He was a sellout naga. That's a photo. That's a nigga. That's a straight up naga. That ain't no cat people, ain't no Arab, no Mongolian. That's our people. It looked like Chuck Berry, it looked like my grandpa Nighttime, George Knight. That's exactly what Knight looked like. I gotta find a picture of him. That's exactly what George Knight with his long, wavy, curly, dark as midnight. Thank you, baby. Appreciate that. Excellent find. What was that? Yeah. Trans-Mississippi Exposition World's Fair in Omaha, Nebraska. That's it. That's true, Aki. Boys weren't safe around them. Nope, they weren't. And our people wouldn't get down like that. There was no history of homosexuality with our people ever. And see, this is what bothers me. And see, what's another thing? They want to talk about guidelines and censoring people, right? But they wanted them schools to be pushing stuff, talking about sex and all that, and we're adults. They always ask you before anything to say, this is for 18 and over. Excuse me. But these people are so inconsistently. But they want our kids, our children. I say, kids and stuff, we know it means goats and animals. But anyway, the children. To read about blowjobs and anal sex and all that dastardly stuff. No, I'm grateful for the ones that had to smack a couple of them things up. I don't advocate violence, but at a time like that, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, no matter how you measure it. You know what I mean? Let me see. Charles Johnson, yeah, make America, make the orthodox ones. We are great. They don't get to make nothing. They get to choose. Well, yeah, I agree. Excuse me. Oh, all the yawning there. Who else did she come in? She didn't come in. She might be live now too. Anyway, but anyway, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming in, taking the time to listen. If you haven't donated, you haven't donated, and it's cool either way. It's much appreciated for those who have. Number love. Hope you enjoyed the read. I know we had a wonderful weekend. T-Bone and Ganja. It's Monday, so right now, I don't know what time it is. I guess it's like 2 or 3, maybe 4. I don't know. Y'all know how I am about time and all that stuff, right? Jamil, yeah, I can't wait I'm gonna break that book down, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna break it down, brother. People ain't gonna be ready, man. That's just what I do. You know what I mean? You see what's this? We had people already running. They couldn't wait to get up and run. Anyway, I appreciate everybody. You know, I'm about to shut it down. Let me play a little bit of our brother's music because I like it so much. You know what I mean? Gonna turn the volume up and let this finish up. And it's always gonna be the same. Appreciate y'all. I sure do.
Transhumanism, cryptocurrency, variants, vaccine passports spread concurrently. Jobs lost, food shortages, jabs used internally to keep nuisance for on next subjects of servitude. Locked in a blockchain, a fake play of urgency. Walls put around the White House as they feign emergency. Whole time kill the stock exchanges. Certainly, definitely, empty NFTs push fervently. Hope y'all paying attention. The switch from fire to digital means stay home to keep the original shareholders of the land in a broken video game through a fungible token, giving the individual notion that now one's controlling their holdings. Worse than a non-refundable note when a pale face name can the coins, net worth is growing. Same switch will be used to control the ebb and flowing. Every Bitcoin saw a purchase Satoshi Nakamoto winch. This one reason why they encourage drinking and smoking. Why every day there's a new distraction, some commotion. They prefer us sitting around getting fat, laughing, joking, and a virtual reality mechanisms for coping. Technological elixir, black who most are soaked in. DNA modification, AI invoking. They've been showing and telling us their goals in the open. I've chosen to expose them in their market and promotion.